So we are live. We appear to not be dropping frames. We have dynamic bitrate turned on. So the stream quality might be lower than normal. But for the most part, at least we're live. Let's just let the people in Discord know that I'm live. Alright. Now that that's out of the way, small intro. Last time we started the Bloom something or other event trials. I forget what they're called. Which, frankly speaking, seems to be a lot of effort to be going through to save one Saurian. I'm not saying I wouldn't put all the effort in to save a friend if I could, but it feels really, really weird that this one illness can only be cured by this one thing that is only made this one way. There should honestly be a lot more than one way to create a crystallized version of the Sacred Flame. And if it is fundamentally identical to how the Sacred Flame works, then why should it have to be done through the crystalline form? Shouldn't other forms of the Sacred Flame cure it? Should we be able to mix it with just some regular Sacred Flame or some contending fire? I don't really know. Anywho, the last one only took like an hour, roughly, to get through the first chapter. So if this one ends up being a little bit on the short side, we'll finish the last two of these just to fill time. That's our plan for the day. But now, it's time for Act 2. Which says to wait for 2 days later. Of course it does. Oh, hang on. There's a gemstone shop here. What do you sell? Things Association sending the random. I haven't... Why is this shop in every region, but half of them sell nothing? Sometimes, this is one of those little thingies that just breaks my immersion with Genshin. Anyhow, I guess we're waiting for 2 days later. So at what point is it considered a new day passing? Is it the moon, or is it the sunrise? Speaking of the moon, actually, they updated that web event with the moon, and there's all sorts of crazy stuff going on there, where they revealed, like, all of the 11 factions that are going to be relevant during Nodcry. So that's kind of cool. Oh, that's so far away. I guess we're checking back in on... I've already forgotten what the Saurian's name is, not gonna lie. Because I literally met him, like, 2 days ago, or like a day ago, if you're looking at this from my perspective. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's probably... I recorded this on April 1st. So, happy April 1st, I guess. Who dat?
Oh, here you are, Kachina.
Oh, it's Kachina.
Oh, hey. I had some time on my hands, so I decided to bring Io over to check on Milray and
Milray. Milray was the name. Also, how come some Saurians got this weird leather-strapped horn thingy? Aru.
Don't worry. Everything's gonna be fine.
Is it like the difference between male and female Saurians? Something been on your mind lately, Kachina?
Huh? What makes you ask?
Oh, I just realized that that trough is full of corn.
Well, you seemed a bit down after the exhibition match, so we're kinda worried about you. Thanks, Traveler and Paimon. I'm okay, really. I mean, it's hard to explain. I've just been feeling a bit lost. Despite losing the pilgrimage so many times, what kept me going was the belief that someday I'd win and earn a spot in the Night Warden Wars.
Okay. And?
So when I finally did, I was over the moon. I mean, things didn't exactly go as planned, and you and the others had to rescue me from the Night Kingdom.
Yeah, that was a whole ordeal.
Still, I achieved my dream. But after the happiness wore off, I felt hollow. I didn't know what to aim for next, or what I should work toward. Then the Bloomflower Trials came around, and I could fight alongside everyone again. But
Bloomflower
when the
Trials.
exhibition
That's what
match
they're called. I
ended,
completely
I
forgot.
suddenly realized that everyone had real-life responsibilities to return to. Everyone, that is. Except for me.
Don't worry, Kachina. You'll have plenty of those when you're older, and then you'll regret not having them when you were younger. If I could go back to being 12 to 15 and not have any real-life responsibilities, boy, would I be over the moon.
And that got me thinking. Am I the only one who's still like a
I'm on
kid?
vacation this week.
The only one who's left with so much free time
It's one
on
of the
their
reasons
hands?
why I'm
Who's
streaming on a
never really
Tuesday.
grown up?
I'll be streaming tomorrow, too.
So
And the
that's
day
what's
after
been
that.
bothering you, huh?
This will be like the 1 week where you'll get to see me stream 4 days in a row. I haven't done this in years. It's an important stage in life, too, Kachina.
Huh? You mean everyone feels like this at some point? I thought it was just because I hadn't been working hard enough.
There's no big rush. Take your time searching for what it is you want to do.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Traveler.
Also, I just noticed the triangle thingy she has hanging from her head. What is that attached to? Is that her? Is it attached to her hair? It's the same color as her hair, so I assume it is.
Huh. If you think about it, this is a
But it
good
also
thing.
looks like it could be like a
Not knowing
band.
what you want means the future's still full of possibilities, right?
Also, how does her hat stay on? It's just kind of like sitting on the front of her head. It doesn't actually have a band that goes all the way around the back.
When Paimon can't decide what she wants for dinner, she gets to imagine all kinds of delicious dishes. But if someone told her, "You're eating this tonight," kinda spoils the anticipation.
You're eating this tonight.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
I don't see how this relates. But if it makes sense to you, it makes sense to you. Good job, Paimon. See, even you have your moments of wisdom, Paimon. Don't insult Paimon's intelligence.
Hey! Stop underestimating Paimon like that, would ya?
I don't. Aether does.
Oh, looks like you guys beat me to it.
Oh, hi, Sit Lolly.
Is the little guy feeling any better?
From the looks of things, from me standing like 10 feet away from him, no, he doesn't look like he's gotten any better. In fact, it looks like he's gotten worse. Look how pale he is.
Greenicy Lolly! Hello!
Hello. I didn't have much going on at the moment, so I thought I'd check in on our patient.
Have these two actually interacted yet? I don't remember if they have.
Mallory's been in a deep sleep this whole time. It's just as Aoife said. We'll need to gather all the sacred flame crystals before we can help him.
Also, how come we haven't asked Sit Lolly yet about whether or not these crystals are safe?
I imagine you're right.
That being said, I guess Sit Lolly is not... Yeah, if Malvika doesn't know, and these Bloom Tender Trials or whatever they haven't been held since, like, 200 years before her time, I don't imagine Sit Lolly has been around that long. That being said, apparently if you, like, read her, like, character stories and lore things, she's not actually 200. 200 years ago is just right around where she started counting her age. So she's 200 from that point. We don't know how old she was before that. She might be 1,000 for all we know.
By the way, you haven't run into any trouble lately, have you?
What? Me? Run into trouble?
When we discussed the sacred flame crystals after the exhibition match ended, everyone else looked happy. But you seem to have something on your mind.
Oh, thank goodness. We're actually gonna ask someone. Also, so that's what this is about. I was worried that the sacred flame crystals might be dangerous. Did you think there was something else on my mind? Well, I was worrying about Kachina. She was worrying about me. I should just be honest with her about the rumor. The fact that this is all in brackets, maybe it makes me think, oh, she's reading our mind, isn't she? Oh no, we tell her. Okay. I missed the
A
mind
baseless
reading.
rumor, but a fearful-sounding one all the same. Fear stems from the unknown, so the more cryptic the hearsay, the more panic it spreads.
Wait, are the crystals actually dangerous? Then what about Milleray?
Mawika was right. Even if trouble does come our way, she'll handle it.
I trust her to do that.
Still,
I honestly
there
trust you
must be
more,
a
but
story
go ahead.
behind the Bloomflower Trials being stopped. It is said that something happened the last time they were held.
How long do Saurians live, actually? I don't think that's a question we've addressed yet, now that I think about it. Is Sitlali part Saurian?
Since you're concerned, why don't we look into it? I'm sure we'll still be able to find scrolls from back then over at the Masters of the Nightwind.
But the scrolls don't have words on them. Let's go. Knowing the truth, we'll put our minds at ease.
Can I come along? I'd like to help.
Ask Granny Sitlali. Granny
I don't
Itzley,
see why
whatever name
not.
she's going by at the moment.
Come, let's head over to my place. We should leave this little Qucusaur to rest.
Alright, medicine born of guilt. That being said, considering it's tied to centuries past, maybe this will tie in to, what's it called? Aoife's ancestry, because he seemed a little bit concerned about that. Thanks for coming to see me, Io. How are you feeling, Milray? I'm feeling dizzy. I think I need to sleep a little while longer. Milray. Alright, where are we going? All the way to the Masters of the Nightwind. Masters of the Nightwind is probably one of the funnest things to say, in all honesty.
I had someone gather up all the woven scrolls from that era. Maybe we'll find some leads we can follow.
There's that many?
That doesn't look like all that many, to be honest. I think we can knock this out in a couple hours. Maybe like 6?
Oh, this is gonna take forever.
Well, it's every scroll. All we have to do is, like, browse through, like, the abstract, or, like, the beginning of it, to see if it relates to it at all, and then if not, we skip to the next one.
Come on. Less whining, more reading. If we split them up, we'll finish in no time.
I could have sworn that all the woven scrolls were woven with no words on them. So literally, it should be open, look at the picture, move on to the next one. What do you think? If each one of them is about that size, I would wager that there's maybe like 40, 50, 60 of them here. Variety of events are recorded in the scrolls, like moments frozen in history with the power to pull back into the distant past. I've flipped through several of them, but still, nothing about the Bloomflower Trials. Yet the stories they contain, they're almost unimaginable. War, peace, alliance, betrayals. Seems like in Natland, 6 or 7 centuries past, relations between the 6 tribes were incredibly complex and constantly shifting.
Why have you stopped? Did you notice something strange?
Are there still conflicts between the tribes nowadays?
There will always be tensions. But the intensity has changed. Usually the Pyro Archon tries their best to prevent intertribal disputes from escalating. But not every Archon has done that as well as Mawika. Also, given that our Archons live only as long as mortals, the transitional periods can be fraught with challenges.
That makes sense. First time I've ever heard about that. In fact, I think we don't know very much about how an Archon gets selected in this region. It's almost never came up, come to think about it.
Far fewer conflicts have ended in bloodshed over the past few centuries. Whenever I read through these scrolls, I too am always struck by the thought of how unimaginable our lives would seem to people back then.
You're over 200, so you must have at least lived through a large chunk of a period with no Archon. Or, like, who was the Archon immediately before Mavwika? Do we know anything about that Archon? And I know not Mavwika 500 years ago, the Mavwika of today. Like, how long has she been Archon in this era?
Hey, come check this out. This one seems to mention the Bloomflower Trials.
Mentioned, there's supposed to be woven
Oh?
paintings.
Let me see. A curious coincidence indeed. It seems like the last Bloomflower Trials were also held to save the life of an ailing Saurian.
Interesting.
Huh? Was it the same illness as Milray's? The scroll doesn't say, but it seems likely. Strange. It's very unusual for such records to be so sparse on details. The scroll only vaguely alludes to two things. Firstly, that the Bloomflower Trials were held to save a sick little Saurian. Secondly, that they seem to have failed. And that the chief of the Flower Feather clan had a major falling out with his younger brother. And later on, his brother left the tribe and lived as a recluse. That's all it says.
Is that person gonna turn out to be Aoife? Or Aoife's ancestor?
But that basically tells us nothing! You know, except that the person who weaved this scroll must have been slacking off on the job.
Or maybe had something happen that was too sensitive to record?
Sacred flame crystals having the power to beguile human hearts. Is this where that's from?
Despite coming through the rest of the scrolls, you can't find any other references to it.
Looks like we'll have to approach this from another angle.
Okay.
I'll go take a look through some even older scrolls. Surely the trials were held more than once.
Sure.
Seeing as that scroll just now mentioned the Flower Feather clan, I think I could go ask Chief Mutota. And what's our next move? Any other leads we can follow?
Come to think of it, that mysterious Qucusaur that Milray mentioned might be able to shed some light on things. Let's go ask Chaska's mom. That seems like a lead we could follow. I'm feeling a certain Qucusaur might know a thing or two.
A certain Qucusaur? Who told you that? Oh, Aoife's assistant, Kakuku, must have told you, right? I heard he sometimes translates for the other Saurians.
Yeah, this might not be the best time to dive into the whole Saurian indwelling mystery. I guess I'll just give Cuckoo the credit for now. Oh, good.
Alright then. I'll look into those ancient scrolls, Kachina can head over to the Flower Feather clan, and you two can track down that Qucusaur.
Isn't Chaska the only one that we've shown that we can indwell?
Let's split up and meet back here later.
I think, yeah, because in Chaska's character, Tribal Chronicles or whatever. Let's actually find out more about that mysterious Qucusaur. Let's head back to Children of Echoes and ask Nyan. Oh, wow. I hate when they do this nonsense. We're literally going all the way there, and then all the way back. At least it's fun to indwell. Nyan, can you tell me any more about the mysterious Qucusaur you've mentioned before? Huh? You want to make friends with him too? Yep, that's right. Where can I find him? Tracking him down is no easy task, because he's always off somewhere on his own. One second he'll pop up in front of us, then vanish into the air the next. It's actually pretty impressive. One time he took us on to this absolutely beautiful place with this really, really tall stone gate. There were so many other Qucusaurs there. We wouldn't really trespass on other Saurians' territory, but since he took us there, it was fine. He said it was his home. Qucusaur's in a stone gate. Sounds like it might just be near the Flower Feather clan. Let's go check it out. What does he look like? And how will I recognize him? He's really easy to spot. If you see one that looks light and floaty, that's him. Wow, that helps like almost not at all. Light and floaty. Yep, light and floaty. You'll know who he is the second you see him. Seems to be the only description Nyan can come up with. It's vague, but it'll have to do for now. Oh, and if you do see him, can you say hi from me and Milray? We're both starting to miss him. He did drop by to see us, but there were too many people around for his liking. Sure thing, leave it to me. Oh, and it looks like we're just gonna barely not meet Varessa.
Feeling hungry? I just picked these from the orchard.
Rawr.
Go on, have some. Taking care of a patient like you're doing is hard work. Don't wear yourself out with worry, okay? If
Rawr.
you need more, there's plenty more where that came from.
So we got Varessa in this event, but we haven't formally met her yet. Which I guess saves me the spoilers of having an introduction to her in her character quest when we eventually do that. It's the next thing on the agenda after we finish these events. I want to do the timed events first because there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that these timed events will last. I do wish that they saved them, kind of like Star Rail does, so that we can do them whenever. I'd be fine passing out rewards. Oh, looks like we have some guests. Is it time for day 2 of the trials yet?
Shh. So, everyone got that? They'll never see this coming. We'll catch them totally off guard.
Leave it to us. We'll show them what we're made of.
Oh, they're planning for the next day.
Mualani, Kanich, what are you doing here?
I'm gonna take a screen cap of that real quick, because that's just a funny shot.
Oh, Traveler, Paimon, it's you. You nearly scared the life out of me. Just between us, we're discussing our strategy for the next half of the exhibition match. But as for the details, those will have to stay a secret. After all, we'll be competing against you this time.
Good luck with that.
What about you guys? You seem like you're in a hurry. Has something happened?
I'm just hoping that they don't use the exact same strategy that they used when we were on their team. Because if they do, boy are they bad.
We're on the trail of an extremely rare and elusive Qucusaur.
Rare and elusive?
Supposedly it's light and floaty. Kenichi Mualani, a quick rundown of the situation.
In that case, we can help with the search. That description of the location's way too vague. The scenery around here is all pretty much the same. Without anyone to help out, it'll take you forever. What does the Qucusaur look like?
Light and floaty.
Nothing more specific than that?
Apparently we'll know who he is the instant we see him.
Alright, well in that case, let's split up.
I'll check the higher ground and see if anyone over at the Flower Feather clan has any ideas.
A stone gate makes me think Ochka Notland, to be honest.
I'll follow the river then.
Sounds like it's my time to shine. As Kanich will tell you, I'm a born hunter with the eyes of a hawk.
I believe you're one of Kenichi's teammates from the pilgrimage at the start of the Archon quest.
I haven't got anywhere else to be either. I'll take a stroll nearby and see if I can spot anything.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Don't mention it. Anyway, we'd better get going. Catch you in a bit.
Alright. Well, at least we're not doing this alone. Seem to be quite a few Qucusaurs living around here. Okay. I want to go over here real quick. That fruit just now was kind of sour. Try this one instead. It's super sweet. Oh, I guess we're doing this as the other. Greetings, fellow Saurians. Hello, fellow teenagers. Hello there, how can we help? I was just wondering, have you ever met a Qucusaur around here who you would describe as light and floaty? Oh, you're talking about that kid, are ya? Eh? Light and floaty. Really, are light and floaty really such distinct traits? These Qucusaurs seem to have instantly understood who I meant. He sometimes shows up around here, but he's always sneaking about, trying to not even be seen. He's often perched up on a cliff, just gazing out on his lonesome, daydreaming about who knows what. Oh, and I'm pretty sure I saw him following a human around a couple of days back. Huh. Well, that's not something you see every day. You usually won't go anywhere near them. Is it actually Kukuku? Is there any way to get a hold of him? I'd forget it if I were you. That kid comes and goes like a shadow. Come join us for some fruit instead. Try this one. It's sweet as can be. Okay, thanks. Doesn't seem like a very fruitful lead. Guess I'd better wait and see if Mualani and Kanich have any better luck. I actually can't even pick up the fruit that they have. Oh, hello, Kanich.
Anything on your end, Kanich?
Nope.
Me neither. Qucusaurs all look so similar. They all look light and floaty to me. I mean, what could possibly be lighter and floatier than a pair of wings?
I didn't find anything either. How about you guys?
No dice. Alright. At least we have a new lead.
Sorry, Traveler and Paimon. We couldn't find that Qucusaur you're after.
So what about a tall stone gate?
Are you in a hurry to find him? If you need a hand, I can come back and join the search again tomorrow.
Maybe if he's really trying to hide from us, I'll try to think of another way.
Okay, well, if you need any help, don't hesitate to reach out. That's what friends are for, after all.
There's a reason I like you, Mualani.
I've told my friends over at the Flower Feather Clan to keep an eye out. If they see anything, they'll let you know. So, what's your next move?
I think we'll head back to the Masters of the Nightwind.
Alright, I'll update them.
Come to think of it, Ororon could probably rig up a few traps and snag him that way.
I don't know if that'll help.
It's not like Ororon's traps can catch just anything, you know.
They caught the Pyro Archon.
You never know. Might as well ask him if you get the chance. Anyway, we'll be heading back now. Best of luck!
Okay then, see you later! And thanks for your help!
Big stone gate. Somewhere where they perch and look at people. Yeah, that doesn't really narrow it down all that much. Alright, let's go back and talk to Sitlali. Oh, she's over here.
Let me think.
Kachina, Sitlali, what's up?
We haven't managed to find anything. No one seems to know what actually happened back then.
Any luck with your mysterious Qucusaur?
Nope. And really? You couldn't find anything about the trials from even earlier? Like, how often were they held before this? I don't think it's planning on making an appearance anytime soon.
In that case, I'd suggest we set this aside for now. It would be great if we could get to the bottom of this, but not every historical mystery can be unraveled. We must also learn to live with the unknown. Just remember, as long as we stick together, no challenge will ever be too great.
No one fights alone.
Yeah, I'm sure everything will work out. Still, after all this investigating, it feels a bit disappointing to come up empty-handed.
Whew. Finally, dudes. Found
Oh,
it.
hi, Aoife.
Aoife, what brings you here?
Kanich mentioned you were on the lookout for a Qucusaur. Just so happens a strange Qucusaur has been following me the past few days.
It was following you. That was something we did know. Care to Strange Cookie, you're saying you care to elaborate?
No clue why, but this dude's been on my tail ever since I got back from the Children of Echoes. Not gonna lie to you, bro, it's kind of freaky. His footsteps are totally silent, and after dark, all you can see is a silhouette.
Is he like a memory of a Qucusaur?
So I didn't even realize he was there until Kakuku suddenly flipped out last night when he went for a drink. His squawking woke me up, and that's when I finally spotted a shadowy shape outside the window.
Okay, so it's a ghost of a Qucusaur.
That sounds terrifying!
I could tell it was a little Qucusaur from the shape. After observing him more closely, I figured out that he'd been following me the whole time, but that he'd just been too quiet to notice. Not sure if that's the dude you're looking for, but if so, you're more than welcome to get him off my back. The sooner the better.
Man, we've known you for a day, and already we're best friends.
Wait a second. Does that mean...
Yep, dude's probably hiding right behind that tree.
Oh, wow.
Do you think we should send someone over to take a look?
Why is everyone afraid all of a sudden?
It's okay, I've got this.
Cool, we'll send the strongest one among us to go fight them. Everyone hide behind Sitlali.
What the? How is that even? Guys, get over here, quick! There's nothing scary about this. It's just,
It's a ghost! It's also wearing a helmet.
Surely that's not...
It's just like Arian's grandparents, a Saurian ghost. Coo. No wonder Diane described him as light and floaty. He's instantly recognizable, not like any Qucusaur I've ever seen. This must be Milray's mysterious friend, and the one spreading the rumors about the sacred flame crystals, beguiling human hearts.
Wait, shouldn't he have returned to the ley lines? Haven't they been fixed?
There are many possible reasons, but right now it seems that our priority is...
So why have you been tailing me, bro? If it's treatment you want, can't do much for you, man. Sorry.
You know, I don't know if the Hippocratic Oath covers the dead. Oh, there he goes.
He ran off.
I think he wants us to follow him.
Do you think he wants us to follow him?
Paimon and me sharing a brain cell again.
If only we had a Qucusaurus on hand.
Qucusaurus.
Hey, that's a good point. Where is Kakuku today?
He was so spooked last night that he rattled through every single word he's ever learned and then fainted. He was still out cold when I left.
All right, enough chit-chat. Let's just follow him. It looks like he wants to take us somewhere.
Also, it doesn't matter. We can indwell. You follow the little Qucusaur spirit who leads you much further away than you'd expected. Where are we? Yeah, that's far. We would have had to walk along this path all the way around through the Flower Feather Clan to get to here. Or all the way this way and then up like some scaffolding.
I'm all for work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it.
Looks like he's finally stopped.
This doesn't look like a tall stone
Why
gate.
have you brought us here?
It's kind of cute. It's got a little helmet with goggles.
So, is there something buried here, or what?
We're gonna find a bunch of those crystals, aren't we? Alright. Kachina, bring out the shovel.
You want us to dig it up?
After some energetic digging, you unearth an old weathered box.
These are...
Woven scrolls, yes. Albeit very crudely made, and heavily time-worn as a result. Still, they're just about legible. They seem to document the very last Bloomflower Trials that took place centuries ago? But why would these be here?
Yeah, why here? Why are we burying important, like, historical documentation?
Come, let's read them together. These might just contain the answers we've been searching for this whole time.
I'm gonna do a screen cap of that. Hold still, Paimon. Say cheese. Cutscene? No.
So, have you figured out a way to save him?
Indeed, I have. As far as I can tell, we need ocean zephyrs and sacred flame crystals. That's about it.
That's great news. Don't worry, little guy. You'll be better in no time.
Well, it's not every day that the chief himself drops by to check in on your Saurian buddy. Not so busy these days, huh?
You know I'd come even if I was. You're my brother, man. I heard you've been beside yourself since Antu fell ill, so I was worried about you.
I mean, Antu means the world to me. I promised to stay by his side until the day he's fully grown, ready to spread his wings and soar freely through the skies. I mean, with him around, I've never felt lonely traveling through Natlan. Sometimes he's happy, and other times he's sad. Sometimes he has tantrums, but then he'll curl up beside me when I'm down. And right now, he needs me more than ever.
Boy.
I'll draw upon everything
is
I've
really
ever
gonna be
learned to help
depressing,
him
huh?
get through this.
And we already know how this ends.
I salute your courage and wisdom, brother.
These two are gonna have a falling out, and then the bird dies. Don't leave me, just don't leave me hanging, bro.
Crystals you mentioned. Are you sure they'll do the job?
Well, I've studied the essence of the sacred flame and read various related scrolls. Sacred flame crystals are born from intertribal conflict. Back when the tribes were somewhat united, they would occasionally hold Bloomflower Trials in order to obtain them.
But why were they trying to obtain them?
Seems like I've still got lots to learn, despite being chief. So, how can we use them? Is it really worth holding a whole competition just to get our hands on some?
And if you found scrolls with this information, where were they? Or are they bundled with the ones that we're reading right now?
Research on sacred flame crystals has been patchy to say the least, so there's never been a definitive conclusion. What we know for sure is that they can be used to treat certain chronic phlogiston-related illnesses. Others also say that they can be used to enhance a warrior's strength. There's something.
Enhance a warrior's strength.
And you're gonna hang on those 3 words.
It's speculative at best. We need to analyze an actual specimen to know for sure. As far as I'm concerned, as long as they can be used to cure Antu's illness, that's enough. Nothing else matters.
So you asked the chiefs of all the tribes to send people to take part in a scaled-down version of the Bloomflower Trials? Remarkable that they agreed, given it wasn't so long ago that we were at each other's throats.
How long ago was that?
Tensions are running high right now. If I were you, I wouldn't have had the courage to even ask.
I know, but I had no other choice. Fortunately, I've treated patients from every tribe, so the chiefs agreed as a way of returning the favor.
The way this whole sacred flame works feels like it's Unga Bunga magic to me.
With all this ongoing
It doesn't seem to
strife,
have a
it's
lot of
been
rhyme
a
or
long
reason.
time since we've worked
Like,
together
why
on
would the sacred
anything.
flame, when the tribes fighting
Might
each
be a
other,
good
be
chance
any
for
different, like
reconciliation.
chemically speaking, than the sacred flame when the tribes are fighting each other during the pilgrimage? It's like, why? How is it different?
Fighting side by side for a common cause? That's the way Natlan was always meant to be.
Let's hope so. By the way, what's with all this baggage? Heading out on a long journey or something?
Gonna look for some ocean zephyrs.
I'm heading out to search for ocean zephyrs. In the meantime, I'll leave the trials in your capable hands. Just please make sure it all goes smoothly.
Come on, that goes without saying. Rest assured, I'm your brother after all.
Thank you. And Antu, be good while I'm gone, okay? Once I return with the ingredients, you'll be back on your feet and running around in no time.
Himara! How could you stoop so low, ambushing us on the field like that?
Ambushing? You've no one but yourself to blame for underestimating us. So what's all this fuss about?
Even if that was remotely true, your guys went way over the line. 7 of our warriors were so badly injured that they're still out cold as we speak. The Flower Feather clan must compensate us for our losses. Hand over the sacred flame crystals.
And what, we'll hand them over after all that? Just because you waggled some fingers and said some angry words?
Ooh, the salt in that voice.
Didn't you claim that we're holding these trials to save a sick Saurian? Take what's necessary for the treatment, then return us the rest.
Say something, Amara. We're not leaving until you give us some answers.
If the other elders were here, they wouldn't waste their time on such puerile questions. If anything, I just wish we'd managed to collect more crystals. There are always people who think they're so clever. So many contestants were just pocketing the ones they got in the trials. I'll bet your chiefs all have sweet little personal stashes too, huh? Everyone was in a frenzy, snatching the crystals up wherever and whenever they could. We're hardly the only winners. I wouldn't even call us the biggest ones.
That's not a good argument, and it's starting to sound like these baseless rumors just devolved into people fighting over resources.
You what?
We don't even have any evidence that these things can increase people's strength.
I get it now. Snatching the spoils while using the Bloomflower Trials to weaken the other tribes. You planned this all along. Ugh, that Nompole. Can't believe I trusted him.
The children of Echoes will not forget this. Let's go!
Cool. And this is why Antu gets the impression that it beguiles human hearts.
Brother, where's Antu?
Oh, you're back. Come, sit down. I'll explain everything.
Look, no need for that. I only came back to ask. Are the rumors true?
Rumors? What rumors?
That the Bloomflower Trials spiraled into an all-out bloodbath, sparking a heated dispute among the chiefs. And that no one was bothered in the slightest about Antu. By the time anyone noticed, he was already gone. How could you lie to me, Amara? You promised you'd make sure the Bloomflower Trials went smoothly. Why would you resort to such underhanded tactics?
You think I had a choice? As soon as one person broke the rules, the whole thing became a free-for-all.
So what happened in the Bloomflower Trials before this? Because there were trials held before this one. And they probably created these things for that back then. There's like a lot of missing pieces of history for this story that I feel like don't make sense.
Playing by the rules.
This is not Genshin's best writing.
If I hadn't taken things into my own hands, another tribe would have just swooped in and seized the winnings for themselves. These sacred flame crystals, they have limitless potential. I, for one, wouldn't miss a chance to strengthen our tribe.
Do they have limitless potential? We still don't even know if the rumor was true.
I won't debate ethics with you. Where are the sacred flame crystals? Give me some. I'm going to search for Antu.
I've put them all into our research.
Research?
You did what?
I did set some aside for Antu in the beginning, but he ran off, didn't he? So there was no longer any need.
Wow, no faith.
He's your companion, yes. But the life of a single Saurian is nothing compared to the future of our tribe.
See, this is what I was getting at last stream when I said that, this seems to be like a lot of effort to go through to get to cure one Saurian. Seriously, we should just be creating a surplus of this stuff in case other things get sick, or like, you know, looking into how one catches this disease in the first place, so that we could work on prevention.
Hear, hear. You've certainly proven yourself a worthy chief, Imara. Your name will no doubt be etched into the hearts of the Flower Feather clan for generations to come. Just remember this. No excuses can hide the harm your greed has inflicted. All the hope and trust that that little guy placed in you, placed in me, you'll never know what that feels like.
And the fact that none of these sacred flame crystals exist in the present day means that they all got used for something.
Wait, Nompole! Where are you going?
To look for Antu.
Antu!
Some brother you turned out to be. Hey, when me and my brothers don't always end up on good terms, but when one of them asks me to do something, I do it for him.
Antu, it's me! Please! Answer me! Antu, are you okay? Oh, look at you out here all on your own.
He's kind of big.
I'm so sorry, Antu. This is all my fault. I'll think of another way. After that, I left the Flower Feather clan and lived here on this hill with Antu. He was running out of time. I took him from tribe to tribe, begging them to spare some sacred flame crystals, our last hope. But no one believed me anymore. I begged them again and again, enduring sneers, insults, even beatings. Until finally, Antu's time came. In those last few days, he seemed consumed by an overwhelming sorrow. And then I realized it wasn't just the sickness weighing him down, no.
Remorse, huh?
Remorse filled his gaze.
This is cathartic. Lethargic, even, one might say.
I remember once, over at the Children of Echoes, someone approached us with a sacred flame crystal, flaunting it before quickly putting it away.
Ah, this is what you're after, is it? Dream on. Go beg your brother for some. How many did he snatch up for himself? He's the one who put you up to this whole I'm a victim charade, wasn't he? I don't buy it. What are you? You little vulture!
For some reason, Antu harbored a deep and intense hatred for the sacred flame crystals. Whenever he saw one, he would muster up every last ounce of his dwindling strength in trying to destroy it. It wasn't until years after Antu's death that I finally guessed at the truth. He must have witnessed people fighting over the crystals without comprehending why. Unable to fathom how those once cheerful humans had turned from best of friends to worst of enemies.
Yep.
Concluded that they
It's
must
all
have
a
been corrupted by
misunderstanding.
the sacred flame crystals themselves.
Still don't know why these crystals work functionally different than other sacred flame.
In Antu's eyes, the only reason they'd started collecting sacred flame crystals in the first place had been to save his life. If I hadn't been there, none of this would have ever happened. He carried this guilt with him until the very end. I too shall be bound by guilt for the rest of my days. If only I had taken part in the trials myself. If only I'd seen the greed in Amara's eyes, or even came back just a little bit sooner.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways this could have played out.
But the past cannot be undone. I have immersed myself in the study of medicine and spent my life healing all kinds of Saurians. I buried Antu here on this hill, where I too one day shall rest.
So who buried you here?
Before my own time comes, I have recorded all of this on these crudely woven scrolls in the belief that the truth should not lie buried. May those who come long after us learn from our errors, lest they repeat them.
Cool, who buried you here?
May the Natlan of their day be united as one, free once and for all from bloodshed and strife.
Medicine born of guilt.
He was your ancestor, wasn't he, Aoife?
So the non-pole from the scrolls was Aoife's ancestor? And that little Qucusaur spirit was once his Saurian companion?
Seems so. That's why he's been following you around, Aoife. Even though he doesn't like appearing in front of anyone else, he senses something familiar in you. No wonder there weren't any records of the last Bloomflower Trials. If anything corrupts the human heart, it's greed. And who'd want to immortalize the memory of a scandal by which all 6 tribes were tainted? The bitter irony is that the sacred flame crystals turned out to be nowhere near as miraculous as they believed. All that scheming, after what proved to be nothing more than a hollow fantasy.
So who spreaded the initial rumor? And then there were Bloomflower Trials from centuries before this incident, so there's still a lot of history missing here, so I'm not sure.
Where's that little Qucusaur gone?
Probably back to the ley lines.
Look, over there! Do you think he's sad?
Gazing out over the cliffs.
Maybe he's lost in his memories.
I'll go hang out with him for a bit.
Thanks. I might need a breather over here.
You got a history lesson you probably didn't want.
Centuries. Unfolding like this before my eyes. Can't believe I'm just now hearing my ancestor's story. Now I know why we became vets too.
This is basically Aoife's character quest. Because we don't do those anymore. We do Tribal Chronicles. So I feel really bad for people who didn't do this event. Another event that probably should have been a main story quest. Or like an interlude or something.
What should I do? What can I even do?
So the Qucusaur onto wait on his, unlike the other millwright to put the story well. Yep. As he was in life, he remains in death. He might be thinking. I want to ask him.
I'll find some time to take these scrolls back to the Masters of the Nightwind. Just like Nampol said, The truth shouldn't stay buried.
Poor Antu.
Biram is gonna love that, by the way. He loves history. Baram is my favorite. Sign me up for the Masters of the Night Wind. That's my favorite tribe. By the way, how come we can't indwell as one of these Saurians? All we want to walk around as a big Toto. Are we going to indwell off screen? I guess we are. Antu. Ah, aren't you the blonde guy from just now? Wait, is that your real form? You can turn yourself into a human? That's amazing. Can you teach me how to do it? I want to talk to the humans, but they don't like me. You still remember what happened back then? Only bits and pieces. I remember being in a lot of pain. I remember how worried my good friend Nampol was. Afterwards, the pain stopped and my body felt so light. But I couldn't find him anymore. I hid and searched and hid and searched. I searched without end. My body kept getting colder and colder, like I was freezing to death. In a way, yeah, that makes sense. Luckily, I found a nice cozy cave where I huddled and slept for ages. When I woke up back again, the world seemed completely different. A cave. The Night Kingdom. Yeah, there are all these strange patterns on the walls. Some of them even looked like a bit like me. Definitely the Night Kingdom. Could he mean the remnants of the secret source? As the closest place to the Night Kingdom, maybe his soul hasn't faded away yet because he was hibernating in there. When I came out of the cave, I saw that those evil monsters had returned. So I went to help. That's how I met Milray and Nyan. All three of us had them running in circles. Once I showed my friends the way, those monsters didn't stand a chance of catching them. Eventually, those monsters all disappeared. Then I faintly heard the sound of Nampol's voice calling out to me to come to him. He's probably waiting for you in the Night Kingdom. The monsters disappeared. This must have been after the final battle against the Abyss. The ley lines had been restored, so at this point, he could have returned to the Night Kingdom. But you didn't go to him? I wanted to, but then Milray came down with the same illness I had, and I was so worried for him. Nampol said that the sacred flame crystals were required for the cure. Those crystals are evil. As soon as they got their hands on them, even the closest of friends would get into the most vicious arguments. Everyone started acting so strangely, like they'd been all bewitched. So you think this was all caused by the sacred flame crystals? What else could it have been? They were all such good friends before, and they used to care about me too. It's all because of those evil crystals. I wish I could cast every last one of them into the volcano, but we need them to cure Milray. What should we do? Just as Nampol concluded in his scroll, Antu misunderstood the real cause of the strife. It wasn't the power of the sacred flame crystals to bewitch human hearts, but rather human greed and scheming. What can we do now for this poor little creature? Should I tell him the truth from his standpoint? Would knowing the truth even make any difference? Always go with the truth. The truth shall set you free. I'm okay. Let's head back to where the others are. Antu's eyes are full of such heartfelt concern. I don't know what to tell him. Times have changed. So have the people. He's the only one still trapped in the past. Where did everybody go? Are they still over here? Oh, I see them.
Never thought I'd have the chance to meet my ancestor's Saurian companion. It's a pretty cool feeling.
I gotta admit, if I got to meet, like, my ancestor's pet, that'd be pretty cool.
Wouldn't you say so, bro?
Cool.
Can he understand what you're saying?
Kinda. I can pick up on Antu's vibes, just like he catches ours, but that's pretty much it. That's just how it is with Saurian companions. You have to spend a lot of time together to develop an intuitive bond. If my ancestor were here, I'm sure they'd vibe way easier.
In other words, he wouldn't understand even if we discussed everything that went on back then in front of him, right? I'm not even sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
So are we ever going to address the Saurian in the room that is us, the Indweller?
I think it's probably better if he doesn't understand.
I disagree, Kachina, but go on.
I know that running from your problems isn't the way to solve them, and that we should face up to the challenges in our lives. But even if we told him the truth, wouldn't it only distress him more than he already is?
That's right. The people responsible, the ones who should have apologized to him, are no longer around. All the truth would do is tear open old wounds and sadden him all over again.
Isn't there anything we could do to help him forget his sorrow and find hope once more?
Help Milray.
Just like Nampol, I've spent a lot of time studying Saurian psychology. They can be a bit slow sometimes, but they're razor sharp at others. They don't get complex human language, but they get a lot just from reading our eyes.
Okay.
In short, young Saurians are just like children. On one hand, they rely on their human companions. On the other, they really want to prove their worth. Helping people makes them happy, and feeling like a burden makes them sad. So, the best move isn't to get stuck on the truth of what happened, but to help make his current wishes come true.
His wishes?
For example, Antu, you decided to stay here because of Milray and Nyan, right? You're a smart kid. Sacred flame crystals are bad, bad things that cause endless arguments among good friends. But now, after hundreds of years, we finally found a way to beat them.
The arguments?
Will you join forces with us to cleanse the evil inside them so we can save your buddy together?
Oh, guess so we're just gonna lie to him. Okay. We're gonna make up a fancy children's book story reason.
Interesting approach. You want to turn a lie into the truth, huh?
Thank you, Sitlali. Never mind what you're trying to do. Can we even be sure he understands? We can, because I could ask him later.
Actually, I didn't really understand either. Is there really some kind of evil power inside the sacred flame crystals?
No, there isn't.
Oh, dear child. Come. Let Granny explain it to you.
The group has a quick strategy huddle.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, I'll do my best.
Not so fast. Hate to break it to you, but the three of us can't make this happen. Let's meet up at the stadium in 2 days. We'll spread the word and see who's willing to play along.
All right.
As for making Antu understand...
I think that's our cue that we're almost done.
They'll have an easier time communicating.
Medicine born of guilt. I wasn't expecting such a dark and horrific story to be attached to this. Rest in peace, Nampol. Rest in peace. Alright. Well, I said if we were on the shorter side of things, I would add in some content at the end. So, let's do the last 4 missions of these, and that'll be the end of the stream. But, for those of you who don't want to watch this gameplay, you can skip ahead, and I'll just see you all in the next video. Because I know that some of you probably watch these in bulk or in a playlist. But, for the time being, that's what we're going to do. We'll do the Treasure Seeker ones. Those ones are fun and short. I wonder what interesting mechanics they're going to add for the last 2 of these. Where are you? You're over here. Also, Charlotte's not here anymore. No, wait. Yep, she's still here. Hi, Charlotte. Do you say anything else on day 2? No, this is the same dialogue. Alright, not important. Anywho, back to the mini-games. Alright, any new mechanics that I should know about? Intermittent tides wash over the stages, causing some areas to switch between land and water-type terrain at intervals. Take measure of the situation to dispatch the Saurian whelp the best suited to the task. We need 40? Okay, and we have 3 minutes. Yeah, up is fine. This is going to be pretty easy. Easy peasy. Run, please. You're gonna get hurt. There we go. Let's just use both of our dashes real quick. It doesn't really matter all that much. That's gonna hit. No avoiding that. And we're done. Now we only have the final stage, where we must use everything that we have learned. Now let's go this way. Let's just keep going behind this guy. This seems to be the best strategy here. Let's go back this way. Where's the last chest? Made it just in time. And we did it. That was quick and painless. Just like that, we have finished all of these. Which means I now have a lot more resources to start building characters again.
I feel like running.
Alright. That also completes my commissions for the day. Alright, Paulo. Let's do the last two of the Bloomflower Trials. Supremacy and close support. Win within 6 minutes. We get to use Chaska. So Chaska works well with this. Actually, let's grab Farina. Let's grab Dea. And then let's grab... There we go. Actually, no, you don't really work too well. Eh. We don't need a healer, right? Karina just seems to be really good with everybody, huh? I should probably finish building her at some point. Or maybe I should have pulled on her weapon banner when she was rerunning, in hindsight. I know I said I wasn't going to pull characters anymore, but I should have pulled her Sig. There we go. Capture the base.
Another victory.
Up we go. We need to find supply caches. There's some teammates we can help.
By royal decree, wings of darkness.
Let's get it on. Take me up.
Bullseye! Bullseye!
Locked on.
There we go.
Bullseye. Locked on. Open fire. Full speed ahead.
Fire the first shot.
Keep this up.
And then for Chaska, let's see. We want to go this way. No, we need supplies. There's some supplies. There we go.
Another victory. Enemy incoming. Keep calm. Very good.
Take a deep breath and grip. All eyes on you! Ha! The show begins!
Open fire!
Take a look behind the veil!
Locked on! Open fire!
I don't think we're gonna hit that 6-minute mark, but I definitely think we'll get the silver.
Let's run! Buckle up! Oz, reveal thyself!
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Ah,
Open fire! Locked on!
Take a deep breath and grit your teeth. All ice on you!
Locked on!
This is so easy.
Take a look behind the veil.
Open fire!
Load under!
Locked on!
Shower me with praise! Let my name echo in song!
Look alive!
All ice on
Knock
you!
them down. Take me up!
Come on, die already, please. You have so much health.
Open fire!
We managed to do it in 6 minutes. Which means all that's left is the defense mission, which we're going to do on very hard. So apparently if we just do it on hard, we get 3 silver stars, but we get gold. So 3 stars. If you just do it on very hard, we just get 3 stars by default for just completing it. Which is the way to do it. Oh, we get Sitlali? Sitlali. Isn't she a shielder? She's not really a DPS. When the character triggers frozen or melt on an enemy, the crit damage of all characters in the team will increase by 60%. So I guess we'll grab a Hydro unit, and then we'll grab... I guess we'll just grab Farida again. Maybe Arlecchino and... Frozen and Melt, huh? I haven't played Sitlali in a while, so I don't remember how she plays. Last time we played her, I think, was during her character trial. Obtaining the buffs, character generates shield, shockwave will be unleashed, deals true damage that interrupts enemies. Characters protected by the shield will taunt nearby opponents. Okay, where are the buffs? All the way over there?
Fulfill our pact! Overruled!
Smash the
Alright,
scorch!
alright,
Which will it
let's
be?
fix this mess. Suffer the wrath of Eastleaf!
Smash the
Alright,
scorch!
let's finish
Which will it
this.
be?
Laline! Get him!
Enemy will attack flag, huh?
Think you're a match for Granny? You two! Time to end them! Oh, someone's broken through our defenses? Oh, that doesn't sound too promising.
Oh, how did you get over here?
Strike a pose! Show no mercy!
Smash the scorched! Which will it be?
Transfixed.
Laline! Eat Papa! Get him!
Everlasting as the moon.
I'll protect us. Ready, steady, go!
Aha!
Alright, another wave. Let's grab the buff real quick. We've done 6 waves already.
Seems like trouble. Show me your moves. Show me your moves. Time to end them.
These might be some of the highest damage numbers I've ever dealt in this game.
Transfixed.
Time to shine.
Watch out, or you'll get singed. Suffer the wrath of Easley.
Shower me with praise.
Lake Bear.
It's raining fire.
These guys got so much health.
Transfixed.
7 waves, though. Gold with 2 stars. And just like that, though, we have completed every challenge. That being said, I could probably go back and do the first one, get a better score now that I know how to play. But I'm not really super entitled to do so. Inclined, not entitled. Inclined to do so. This was fun. And a great way to showcase how all the Natlan characters play in their optimal Natlan setting. And I think that also means I now have a second Natlan character.
Oh, hello. I'm Ororon from the Masters of the Nightwind. Want some vegetables? Oh, don't worry. I'm not trying to sell anything to you or get anything in return.
This is a long
There's
intro.
No rhyme or reason for it, really. I just like to see what every seed grows up to be, so I end up with a lot of produce. As long as my vegetables wind up in the stomach
He's
of
still
someone
going.
who enjoys them, that's all that matters.
Well, that was crazy. And then next time we'll finish this. And if it ends up being too short next time, I'll edit it into this video. Because the endings and finales tend to sometimes only be like 35 to 45 minutes. And if that's the case, I don't know, maybe we'll do some bonus Imagineering Theater if it ends up being too short next time. But until next time, I'll see you all next time. And if you would enjoy the content here, the best way to stay informed of when I'm going to be doing these content streams is going to be joining my Discord. And if you want to join the Discord, links to that are where links are. You can find them on the About page here on Twitch, TV/SheetStreams, or Dan Sheets on YouTube. See you when I see you. And a lot of content coming in this week. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.